Have you ever stopped to think about what we truly know about Buddhism? This millennia-old philosophy is often reduced to a few basic ideas, but there's a world of fascinating curiosities that most people have never seen. In this video, we will explore 7 intriguing facts about Buddhism that might completely change your perspective. From monks using social media to the rich diversity of traditions and rituals surrounding this religion, each point will reveal a surprising aspect of this spiritual philosophy. And at the end, I'll share how these teachings can impact your life in practical and meaningful ways. So, stay until the end, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and get ready to be surprised. Buddhism, founded by Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, about 2,500 years ago, is much more than a simple religion. It is a philosophy of life that seeks to understand the nature of suffering and find the path to liberation from this cycle of pain. Over the centuries, Buddhism has spread to various countries, adapting to different cultures and traditions, resulting in a rich tapestry of practices and beliefs. What many don't realize, however, is that there are countless facets of Buddhism that go beyond traditional teachings. For example, Buddhism is not limited to worship, but manifests in daily actions and the way we relate to the world. Let's discover together some of the most fascinating curiosities about this spiritual tradition. Let's begin our journey by exploring the 7 curiosities you probably haven't heard about Buddhism. Monks and social media. In an increasingly connected world, technology plays an important role in many religious traditions, including Buddhism. Some monks have ventured onto social media, sharing teachings, reflections, and meditation practices. This adaptation not only demonstrates the ongoing relevance of Buddhist teachings, but also how they can be disseminated in a digital world. Through videos, posts, and live broadcasts, these monks reach thousands of people, promoting a dialogue about spirituality and life practices that can be applied in daily life. This curiosity highlights the importance of staying open to change and innovation, even within traditions as ancient as Buddhism. Food offering rituals. In many Buddhist countries, the ritual of pindapata is a common practice. In this ritual, monks leave their temples in search of food offered by the community. This act is not only a way to sustain the monks, but symbolizes the interdependence between them and the community. Generosity is one of the pillars of Buddhism, and this ritual reinforces the idea that giving and receiving are intrinsically linked. Practitioners view the act of offering food as a way to accumulate good karma, while the monks, in accepting these foods, express gratitude and humility. This dynamic is a perfect example of how Buddhist teachings manifest in everyday life and how each act can be an opportunity for spiritual practice. Buddha and animals. One of the most touching aspects of Buddhism is the deep connection Buddha had with animals. Historically, Buddha is known for his compassion and respect for all forms of life. There are numerous stories illustrating this connection, such as the famous narrative in which he refuses to kill any living being, even in extreme situations. This ethical view of animals is not just a personal characteristic of Buddha, but also a central principle in Buddhism, which teaches that all living beings deserve respect and compassion. Over generations, this philosophy has influenced practices such as vegetarianism among Buddhists and inspired actions for the protection of animals and the environment. Thus, Buddha's connection with animals invites us to reflect on our own attitudes towards life. The middle way. The concept of the middle way is one of the central ideas of Buddhism, often forgotten or misunderstood. Buddha taught that true happiness and enlightenment do not lie in extremes, whether in excessive indulgence or rigorous asceticism. Instead, he proposed a balanced approach, where the pursuit of pleasure must be balanced with discipline and meditation. This idea is especially relevant in modern society, where the culture of all or nothing can lead to excesses and frustrations. The middle way teaches us the importance of moderation in all areas of life, from our eating habits to our relationships and pursuit of success. By applying this principle, we can cultivate a more harmonious and satisfying life. The smile of Buddha. Have you ever noticed the serene smile on Buddha's statues? This smile is not merely decorative, it carries a profound meaning. The smile of Buddha symbolizes inner peace and liberation from suffering. It serves as a reminder that true happiness does not come from material possessions or external circumstances, but from a cultivated state of mind through spiritual practice. The smile is a visual representation of the state of enlightenment that Buddha achieved, showing that freedom from suffering is possible for everyone. By contemplating the smile of Buddha, we are encouraged to seek this inner peace, remembering that regardless of the difficulties we face, we can find serenity through the practice of meditation and compassion. Different schools of Buddhism. Many people believe that Buddhism is a single tradition, but in reality, there are several schools and branches, each with its own practices and teachings. The main traditions include Theravada Buddhism, which focuses on the original teachings of Buddha, Mahayana Buddhism, which emphasizes compassion and the salvation of all beings, and Vajrayana Buddhism, which incorporates tantric rituals. Each school offers a unique perspective on Buddha's teachings, allowing for a rich diversity within Buddhist practice. This plurality is a testament to the flexibility and adaptability of Buddhism over time and across different cultures, enriching the spiritual experience for millions of practitioners worldwide. Days of Prayer. A lesser-known curiosity is the practice of prayer days, especially Uposatha, which is observed in various Buddhist traditions. This day, which occurs once a month, is dedicated to meditation, reflection, and spiritual renewal. During Uposatha, practitioners seek to purify their minds and reconnect with Buddha's teachings. Many choose to observe additional precepts, refraining from certain pleasures and dedicating themselves to meditation and study. This tradition is a powerful example of how Buddhism values reflection and self-knowledge, providing time to evaluate our lives and reorient ourselves toward a more conscious and compassionate path. Now that we've explored these fascinating curiosities, let's illustrate each of them with stories that reflect these principles in practice. Storytelling is a fundamental part of the Buddhist tradition, helping to convey complex teachings in an accessible way. The story of the monk on social media. In a monastery in South Asia, a young monk decided to create an account on a social media platform. Initially hesitant, he began to share his daily reflections on meditation and life in the monastery. Surprisingly, his followers started to grow rapidly. Over time, he became a source of inspiration for young people around the world, showing that technology can be a powerful tool for disseminating spiritual teachings. His journey teaches us that adaptation and innovation are essential for the relevance of Buddhist teachings in contemporary society. The practice of Pindapata. In a village, a group of monks practice the tradition of Pindapata every day. The villagers eagerly awaited the monks' arrival, offering them food with hearts full of generosity. One morning, a child decided to take a small cake she had made to offer to one of the monks. The monk, upon accepting the gift, praised the child for her kindness and dedication. This simple act of generosity left a lasting impact on the community, reminding everyone of the importance of interdependence and gratitude. Buddha's connection with animals. Once, during his travels, Buddha encountered a deer trapped in a snare. Instead of ignoring the scene, Buddha approached and compassionately freed the animal. This story illustrates not only Buddha's compassion, but also the central principle that all beings deserve respect. The deer, in gratitude, began to accompany him on his journeys, symbolizing how acts of kindness can create deep bonds between beings. This narrative invites us to consider our own actions and how they can impact the lives of others. The Middle Way. A popular story tells of a student who sought happiness in excessive pleasures, only to discover that this left him unsatisfied. He then attempted rigorous asceticism, but again found no peace. Finally, he remembered Buddha's teachings about the middle way and decided to seek balance. Over time, he found a practice that helped him cultivate inner peace, learning to live with moderation. This story exemplifies how the middle way can be a practical guide for all of us, showing that true happiness lies in harmony and balance. The Smile of Buddha. During a meditation retreat, a practitioner encountered a statue of smiling Buddha. Intrigued, he began to contemplate the meaning behind this smile. Throughout the retreat, he realized that his pursuit of happiness was often tied to external factors. Inspired by Buddha's smile, he began to meditate on inner happiness and freedom from attachment. By the end of the retreat, he felt a profound transformation in his perception of life, understanding that true happiness is an internal choice. This experience teaches us that, just like Buddha's smile, peace and happiness are available to all of us when we cultivate the mind correctly. Diversity in schools of Buddhism. A traveler decided to explore different Buddhist temples in various regions. In each temple, he encountered unique practices and rituals, from prayers in Sanskrit to traditional dances. Each school presented a different interpretation of Buddha's teachings, and the traveler marveled at the cultural and spiritual richness he found. This journey not only broadened his understanding of Buddhism, but also made him reflect on how diversity can enrich spiritual experience. This story emphasizes the importance of exploring different perspectives and learning from the various traditions within Buddhism. Days of Uposatha. In a small village, residents gathered every month to celebrate Uposatha. On this day, everyone committed to practicing meditation and observing precepts. One day, a woman going through emotional difficulties decided to participate. By the end of the day, she felt renewed and more connected with the community. This experience motivated her to continue practicing and to share the benefits of Uposatha with others. This story reminds us of the power of community and the importance of dedicating time to reflection and spirituality in our lives. These curiosities are not just interesting facts, they have a profound impact on our daily lives. By understanding how Buddhism manifests in various aspects of society and individual practice, we can start to apply these teachings in practical ways. For example, the practice of Pindapata reminds us of the importance of generosity and interdependence. We live in a society that often values individualism, but by cultivating a mindset of gratitude and giving, we can create deeper connections with those around us. Furthermore, the stories we shared show that the principles of Buddhism are not merely theoretical, but applicable to real situations. Each of us can benefit from practicing the middle way, seeking a healthy balance in our lives, avoiding extremes that often lead us to stress and dissatisfaction. This balanced approach not only improves our mental and emotional health, but also helps us build healthier relationships. Finally, Buddha's smile is a powerful reminder that true happiness and peace come from within. Meditation and the practice of compassion are pathways to cultivate this inner happiness, allowing us to face life's challenges with serenity. As we delve deeper into Buddhist practice, we begin to realize how our thoughts and actions shape our reality, giving us the opportunity to create a more positive and enlightened future. When we talk about reaching heaven in the Buddhist context, we are really referring to achieving a state of peace and enlightenment, not a physical place. Buddhist practice teaches us that this state can be reached here and now through conscious actions and a compassionate mindset. By practicing meditation, we cultivate the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating a space of tranquility amid chaos. Moreover, by committing to act with generosity as demonstrated in the Pindapata ritual, we begin to transform our relationships with others. This generosity doesn't have to be grand. Small daily acts of kindness can have a profound impact, not only on the lives of those around us, but also on our own happiness. Each gesture of compassion brings us closer to the essence of Buddhism, which is the realization that we are all interconnected. Another important aspect is the middle way, which teaches us to avoid extremes and seek a healthy balance in our lives. This philosophy can be applied in various areas, from work to personal life. By maintaining a balance between effort and rest, ambition and contentment, we can avoid burnout and find greater satisfaction in life's small things. This balanced approach not only helps us live more fully, but also allows us to connect better with others. Finally, as we reflect on Buddha's smile and the meaning of finding inner happiness, we are encouraged to look within and question what truly brings us joy. True happiness, as Buddhism teaches, does not depend on external factors, but rather on how we relate to ourselves and the world. By cultivating the practice of meditation and compassion, we can create an internal space of peace that in turn reflects in our external interactions, creating a positive cycle that feeds itself. In conclusion, the curiosities we explored today show us that Buddhism is a rich source of teachings and practices that can be applied in our daily lives. Each curiosity brings a new perspective that invites us to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and how we relate to the world. If you were intrigued by any of these curiosities, don't hesitate to share your opinion in the comments. And if you want to continue exploring the fascinating world of Buddhism and spirituality, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell to receive updates, and like this video. Your participation is essential for us to keep sharing content that enlightens and inspires. See you tomorrow for another mindful living insight.